Hello, everyone. Okay, let's for once, instead of me talking a bunch before starting the game, let's just go ahead and start the game, Rex, and I'll talk while the game is running. So yeah, this is it not going to show the subtitle? I guess it was. I guess it won't. Well, yeah, you can see the game is called Rex Nebular, but the full title is Rex Nebular and the Cosmic Gender Bender. I don't know why it doesn't show the subtitle here on the title screen, but okay, that's fine. Well, Rex Nebular is enough. That fairly unambiguously identifies the game, since I don't think there were any other games with that title. Maybe they were planning to make this the first installment in a longer series, who knows. Anyway, we can start a new game, but let's watch the introduction first and see what happens. Yes, take advantage of that extra memory, please. That is a good idea. MPS Labs. Yes, this game is from Microprose, who of course were best known for their flight simulators. But, had a few good adventure games that they made as well, this being one of them. There we go, there's the full title. Rex Nebular and the Cosmic Gender Bender. Yes, there are a bunch of names. Yeah, Matt Grusin. So, if the name Matt Grusin rings a bell, it might be because you watched my Let's Play of Earthrise, which was Grusin's first adventure game. And then he went on to Microprose and made a few adventures for them. Another one was Dragon Sphere, which is a medieval fantasy kind of game, but I thought, let's do this instead. I like this game better. That is a date, I guess? The year 90,919, near private satellite of, what was that, Gargoyle something? Some fictional star system or planet or whatever. Wow. Wow, cool warp effects, man. Awesome. It's kind of like the effects in Innocent Until Caught, now that I think about it. This is what the cities of the future look like, ladies and gentlemen. I can't say I care much for this music. Doesn't seem to have much melody to it. Of course, there's that whole current debate on whether melody and music is necessary, but anyway. Okay, so we have a guy trotting gaily down some walkway while a bald man observes silently from above. Okay. Okay, where are we?
Here it is, Stone. Now where's my money?
Oh hey, full speech.
Well, if it isn't Rex Nebular, what an unusual surprise. I must have very poor sources, Rex. I was informed you were, how do you say, dead.
Can it, Stone? It hasn't been a fun trip. Just give me my money and I'll be on my way. Right now, I'm a little late for a date with a mattress.
Would you like a drink, as if I don't know the answer?
Yeah, I'll take 75,000 galactars on the rocks. Straight up hard currency.
You've never been one to pull punches, Rex. I almost like that in a man. You don't have a problem taking a check, do you?
No problem. As long as you own the bank they're drawn on, I'll take your checks.
Well, this certainly is a fine piece of art. Such fond memories. So tell me, Rex, did you have any trouble finding it?
Did I have any trouble? You just stayed seated and I'll tell you about the so-called piece of cake job you sent me on. Finding the planet was easy. Too easy, in fact. My mass detector was going crazy, so I had to be close. Okay, Pro, do your stuff.
Cool color cycling effects.
Now, let's get a little closer.
Oh dear, that does not look like something that was supposed to happen.
What the heck was that? Now that's a big ship.
That's what she said? And I'm kind of reminded of WD-40's ship from Space Quest 5. It seems to have a similar... Well, actually, no, the shape isn't similar at all. The shape reminds me of something else, but...
Target damaged, sir. She's not going anywhere. Good. Move in and finish her off.
Well, I've talked my way out of words. Slippery pig calling large obnoxious vessel. Do you read?
Sir, the pilot's trying to speak with us. On your monitor. Yes, sir.
Hey, can't we talk this over? I'm only a tourist.
You have found our planet, and you must die. Nothing personal.
Planet? What planet? I don't know what you're talking about. Now, if you'd kindly stop shooting at me, I'll be on my way.
Positive weapon block, sir. Good. Let's end this.
I don't think sound works like that. That was a pretty cool intro. Yeah, this was a common thing in adventure games of the early 1990s. They often had fully voiced intros, but then the rest of the game had just regular speech. This is the floppy disk version of the game. This game does not have full speech. And actually, I don't know if there was a CD-ROM version with full speech ever released. Let me actually do a quick check online. I use the internets. I'm gonna use the internets and check and see if, let's see, was there a CD-ROM version of this game? Just trying to see if, it looks like there might have been. Looks like there might, I'm not sure. A cursory online search suggests that there might have been, but this is the floppy version, and so I will be doing the voices myself. I know in the past I've said I want to avoid doing that because people always complain and say, oh no, I missed the original voices, they were so good. But I'll go ahead and take a risk. Let's see, are the credits worth watching? Let's see, are the credits kind of entertaining, or are they just literally just a credit scroll. So yeah, I mentioned when I Let's Played Earthrise, but I'll mention again. So yeah, so Microprose published 3 adventure games. I think all of them were basically the children of Matt Grusin. So this game, like Earthrise, is basically a takeoff on Space Quest. You've probably already noticed just from watching that intro, it takes a lot of inspiration from Space Quest. The other 2 adventures that Microprose published around this time were Return of the Phantom, which was based on Phantom of the Opera, and Dragon Sphere, which I already mentioned, which is... It's a medieval fantasy game. You'd think that it kind of takes off on King's Quest, but it doesn't really. It doesn't feel much like King's Quest. It's kind of its own thing. And I was thinking of doing that, doing a Let's Play of that game, but I just don't really like it very much. There's nothing specifically wrong with it. It just somehow it doesn't. It just doesn't turn my crank. It's just kind of like I've tried it a few times. I've never actually finished playing it all the way to the end because every time I try to start it, it's just like, yeah, it's a nice looking game, but somehow the story just doesn't grab me. Maybe I probably identify more with science fiction stories than medieval fantasy stories, but there are definitely medieval fantasy games that I enjoy. I just somehow couldn't get into Dragon Sphere as much. Yeah, remember rotoscoping? Rotoscoping is basically the process. It's a process of making animated graphics where you film live actors and then scan the frames of that animation into a computer. So rather than drawing the animation, you literally film it and then scan the frames of the film into a computer, because that's apparently at least in the early 1990s, that was the way that you made the most realistic human animations. I think this part might be a joke. I don't think that Rex Nebular is a real person, so I don't think he needed a stunt double or an assistant or anything like that. I got the inside scoop. I need to tell you, I think this guy Rex Nebular is not a real person. It's kind of... reminded of there's an Ali G skit where Ali G is talking with some guy from I think the British Secret Information Service or something, and he asks what's your job like, and the Secret Service guy says it's a little bit like being James Bond, and then Ali G kind of gets all kind of nudge wink wink, and he says, oh, I gotta tell you, I heard that James Bond is not a real person. Yeah. Anyway, I'm one of those people who likes to watch credits because the names don't really mean very much to me, frankly. Like, obviously I don't know who these people are, but it is always interesting to see what gets credited. Sometimes you see things and it just kind of makes you think. It's just kind of one of those things that make you scratch your head and say, what exactly is that? Like, what exactly is a Foley editor? For that matter, what is a Foley? Yeah, like, see, they credited the blood-curdling screams, one of which we already heard in the intro. So it's just like, that's nice. It's nice that they actually credited that. That's kind of cool. It's kind of almost makes the credits worth watching. QA, always very important. If you're going to release a proper software project, then you should test it, make sure that it works before releasing it. Boy, these credits do go on for quite a while, don't they? I am increasingly tempted to skip these because I don't even like this music. If the music were really cool, I would say let's stay for the music, but I don't remember the music in this game being particularly spectacular. So I really like this game. I actually very much enjoy this game. I played it for the first time in the late 1990s, and I don't think I've played it once since then. So it's been, I think, more than 20 years since I played this game, so I'm going to try to go into it semi-blind. There are obviously going to be parts of it that I remember that stick out in my memory, but I don't remember most of it. So this is sort of going to be a, I don't know, maybe semi-blind Let's Play. Although I'll probably keep a walkthrough handy so that I don't get really stuck. So that if I get really stuck, folks don't have to wait forever to get some resolution. They actually credit the 800 sales people. That's kind of cool. They actually put the names of the salespeople who handle the phone lines in the credits. See, that's kind of cool stuff. That's oh, well, that's a bit that's a bit gruesome. Oh yeah, this game does have a little bit of blood. I say a little bit. I mean, it's not super violent. It has some scenes which. If you don't like blood, there probably will be some scenes in this game where you might say, oh, well, my feelings about that aren't entirely positive, actually. But it's not a horror game. It's not a oh, quotes popped up on the menu. What are these quotes? I guess that shows up after you view the credits. Select quotes from the Rex Nebular development team. Oh boy, this scrolling. Guard chunks or monster chunks on the floor. Yeah, yeah, that's how the creative process works. You decide, yeah. Colonel Stone is probably a character in the game. These quotes are giving a slightly biased perception of the level of violence in the game. Like I said, Delta. Yeah, I guess a Delta would be difficult to animate as a sprite. Yeah, see, there's all this stuff about bloody chunks, but there's really not that much blood in the game. I mean, I mentioned it just because, you know, it does show up now and then, but it's not that bloody of a game. It's not a splatter horror game. Okay, Frank, you can keep your fetishes to yourself, sir. I mean, I understand if you're into that, that's fine. I don't mind, but, you know, you should do that on your own time. I'm reading proposed ad copy for... That's what they all said. They said we couldn't print it, but then we did. Well, Mr. Steely, it looks like you did. Because this was actually, this was a reasonably popular game. So for those of you who weren't around in the 1990s, this was not as popular as the stuff from Sierra and LucasArts at the time. It wasn't as famous, and it's obviously not as well remembered today. But I think people who were around back then definitely remember this game. It's not an obscure game. I mean, Microprose was a very well-known publisher at that time. So it's a good practice. Don't explain the programming to the programmers, because they don't need to know about programming. I think some of these may not be actual quotes. I think some of these quotes may be somewhat embellished from reality. Do you guys know what cyan is? That's a fair question. You know that meme about how... Yeah, can we learn magenta? You know that meme about how women see things in colors like lime green and sky blue and stuff like that, and men just see green, blue, red. That is always a good rhetorical question. Well, this is a point-and-click adventure, so if you don't have a mouse, you're going to have a bad time. Although I think you can use the arrow keys. I think this game does support the arrow keys to move the cursor around, so that is theoretically a possibility, but... just dropping a car on a dog, yeah, okay. Dialogue equals dialogue, create, just do it. So the edited line of mass library code. I have an ace in my hole. That sounds like you may need to get more fiber in your diet there, sir. I'm starting to regret... I'm still debating whether I should regret watching the quotes and the credits or not. Maybe I should have done this at the end of the game. I'm thinking I probably should have done this at the end rather than before starting the game, because this is not a particularly auspicious beginning. But it really is a good game, I promise. This is actually a fun game. It's just it really is a good game. It just I didn't remember that intro being that long. But there was some entertaining content there. I think that was worth it. I know some of you were saying that's 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back, but that wasn't that bad, was it? Okay, now for real. Is there anything else that suddenly shows up here? I guess not. Okay, for real. Let's go ahead and start a new game now. Let's actually play the game. Oh yeah, gosh. I was debating what to do about this because I don't really know what the difference is. So when I play shooters, I usually play on easy because, you know, in a shooter, the only real difference is that on hard difficulty, you die more easily. You take more damage usually and you die faster. And I don't find that to be fun. I don't find that dying more often increases my enjoyment of the game. But I think in this game, I think novice mode, easy mode, actually removes some of the puzzles. And we don't want to miss out on any content in the game. I don't know what content it removes. I don't know which difficulty level actually would maximize our enjoyment of the game, because I'm worried that if I choose expert, very difficult, that it's going to do something insanely stupid that gets us stuck and reduces our enjoyment of the game that way. I basically want the setting which maximizes how much we enjoy playing the game. I'll go ahead and choose the expert setting because I want the most content. I don't want to eliminate any content from the game, and hopefully I will not regret that decision. Log on. Geez, what an awful dream. I dreamed I was shot down and crashed into the... Uh-oh, log off. All right, so here we go. So yeah, it actually uses, you know, a LucasArts style interface with the verbs here in the lower left and then the inventory here at the in the lower right. So I guess this is our log based on the fact that it says log on it. Can I read the log? You quickly read a random page from your log. Wow, you really recorded some neat stuff in here. But it doesn't say what it is. Okay, fine. Okay, let's see. I guess it's time to... why does it say butts on the back of this monitor here? I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look around. Oh, is that a... Oh, it's a video game. In all the time this machine has been here, you've yet to figure out what insert quarter means. Okay. Can I, There's no option to use. How do I say use? Okay. Let's see, look at view screen. Oh, sliding chair, cool. Ooh. I guess this is a view of the world outside. Oh. Oh, my. I was not... Oh. Well. Am I going to have to censor this for YouTube? Dang. That probe landed on a wet beach. It must have shorted out. Well, at least you still have the Spaceboy magazines. If I have to censor this for YouTube, I'm going to be very upset about that. I hope that falls under fair use. I mean, this game's not for kids anyway. I mean, like I said, the game is a little bit nasty in some spots. It does have have a little bit of blood, and there is a little bit of pixelated nudity like that, but it's not. I hope it's nothing that offends you, dear viewers. I hope that your sensibilities are not offended by that. Anyway, let's see. Are these fuzzy dice? They are fuzzy dice. Possibly the only thing your interior decorator did that doesn't cause you to double over and violently heave your guts out. You are the fuzzy dice man. Sounds like... This sounds like the kind of line which you should use very often in your everyday life, because someday, somebody is going to hear you say that and say, "Hey, that's from Rex Nebular," and then you'll know whom you should get married to, assuming they're of the appropriate sex and you're not already married, and they're not already married. Anyway, look at mirror while observing that your nostril hairs need a good clipping. You notice a green level of spinach between your teeth. The other thing is that you haven't eaten spinach in 2 weeks. There is a 12-gauge high-tension wire lying around that you could use as a flossing utensil. I should mention, I am using aspect ratio correction on this game. I mentioned that because I'm noticing the text looks a little weird. The graphics are exhibiting that problem that you see in DOSBox when it does aspect ratio correction. If you look at these O's at the top here, for example, you can see the bottom of the O's is 1 pixel thicker than the top. Artifacts like that happen as a result of DOSBox's aspect ratio correction. You can see other examples, like the top of this S here is also 1 pixel thicker than the bottom of the S. I think that's true for this whole line of text, actually. So stuff like that happens, but people have complained in the past about the aspect ratio being wrong because, you know, non-square pixels. So I'm hoping this is better. I'm open to feedback on that. What is that incessant beeping sound? Is that this thing here? Target computer? Can I look at... Oh, there we go. Look at target computer. The target computer reports that it has calculated firm firing solutions on 3 nearby belligerent guppies and is now running a full threat assessment on the suspicious-looking seaweed bank up ahead. Okay, fair enough. Informs you that your ship's weaponry has been recently removed by a rather violent particle beam. Okay, so we have no weapons anyway. We couldn't shoot those guppies if we wanted to. Look at Plastic Jesus. You try desperately to recall the name of the woman who welded that there one fateful night. That sounds like there is a story there, but I'm going to assume the game will not tell that story. Okay, let's see. So, engineering controls, they allow you to monitor the flow of power to the dimensional rift engines. These prepare to transfer the cyber panels probably dead, so something was wrong with your engines, like... something was wrong with your engines, like you don't have them anymore. Yes, indeed. Oh, here we go. You can hold down... If you hold down the right mouse button, then it shows you the things that you can look at. Look at library computer. It is completely inoperative. Well, that's a shame, because I like libraries. What else do we have here? Navigation controls. I'm going to guess that they're not operational either. Blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to have a navigate through 10 feet of sludge at the bottom of the ocean with your engines blown off setting. So there's a good chance that it won't be of much help to you now. That is very true. Look at the chair. Your trusty command chair in which you have spent most of your waking hours for the past few years. From the command chair, all the ship systems are at your disposal, though since the crash landing, most of them are probably ready for disposal. What year did this game come out? I think this was, I want to say 92? Is that right? To the internet. Let's go quickly to the internet, because I'm curious. This game must have come out after Space Quest 4, but did it come out after Space Quest 5? I don't think it did. Okay, so... Right, okay, so this game, Rex Nebular, was published in November of 1992. Space Quest 5... Ooh, it's from February 1993, just a few months later. I mentioned that because this whole screen here reminds me a little bit of, you know, the bridge on the Eureka, that ship from Space Quest 5. and I'm wondering if it's supposed to be. But yeah, Space Quest 5 came a little bit later than this game, so I guess this is just coincidence. But yeah, I mean, our character here, Rex Nebular, is obviously supposed to be Roger Wilco. I mean, he even dresses exactly like Roger Wilco. So let's see, shield status panel. Although your rear deflector screens were completely blurred in space while your front deflector has survived long enough to preserve you through atmospheric re-entry. All deflector zones are now down, however, since their compartments have been flooded. Okay. Damage control panel. Imagine that. After plummeting 40,000 feet at an extremely high velocity and landing with a force of 5,000 megaton neutron bomb, the control panel is damaged. Worst of all, the warranty expired last week. Okay. So, look at the hull. The inner hull of your ship is made entirely of tough stuffnium. The outer hull, consisting mostly of crudnium and some duct tape, unfortunately didn't do too well during re-entry. Okay. Let's see. This is the escape hatch. That's the emergency escape hatch. Emergency being the key word here. It is activated by explosive bolts, and opening under present circumstances would flood this cockpit in seconds flat. No oxygen mask pops out of the ceiling, and you can't use your seat as a flotation device, so your best bet is to try the main airlock since it is apparently still clear of mud. Okay, where is the main airlock? I guess I have to... let's see... This floor is made of floor. Alright, front window. You land underwater, ship is rendered useless, and it's a safe bet that the big ugly ship is looking for you. The good news, you just made your last payment on the ship, so it's yours free and clear. Okay, let's see. Curtains. The ship has curtains in the windows. Wincing at the drapes of wrath, you swear to use them to light the fire when you burn your ex-decorator at the stake. Alright, let's see. Is there anything else here that I can look at? I like the descriptions in this game. I appreciate games that take the time to, you know, give proper descriptions of locations like this. Alright, let's see. Can we walk out? Oh, there we go. Okay, it turns into a go pointer. All this is completely not in my memory. I mean, like I said, I played this game more than 20 years ago. I must have seen all this back then, but I really don't remember any of these details. Like, oh, there's a poster here. Oh, baby. Okay, can we take the... okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's just like an innocent until caught, where he just keeps, every time you walk past the Bravo, he has to stop and... Alright, taking trusty binoculars off the hook reveals a previously obscured portion of the poster. You spend a few moments studying it. Yes. Yes, yeah, okay. Table. Okay, the table's boring. Refrigerator. Hey, what's in the fridge? Even a veteran bacteriologist would get down on his knees and retch if he had to look at the contents of this refrigerator for very long. The county coroner himself couldn't bear the sight of that. Pestering mouse of concealed fungus you call a sandwich. The burger in the front appears to be moving under its own power. This apostrophe shouldn't be there because this is not a contraction, it's a possessive. And the cure for something is growing on the back wall. Okay, well, yeah, they make penicillin out of mold, don't they? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, burger. I can take a burger. Let's... It is a festering mass of congealed fungus that you knew in former times as a hamburger. Let's go ahead and take the burger. Wow, that burger really doesn't look too good. You know, the highly toxic burger, being careful not to disturb any of its indigenous life forms. Okay, yeah, that burger does not look great. What else do we have here? Is there anything else here? I mean, I see a bottle down there and some other stuff, but I guess the rest is non-interactive. Okay. Master circuit control panel for the inhabited areas of the ship. Right now, all life support systems are functioning normally on auxiliary power. Okay, it's fine. Ceiling. Okay, ceiling doesn't... Ooh, Robo Kitchen. You're still incapable of using most of this thing's features. You pretty much gave up after taking 2 days to figure out how to prepare baked water. Bulkhead. Okay, nothing special. Window. The window leads to your bedroom. In fact, it provides the most convenient egress from your bed, and you come stumbling through it every morning with a sincere promise that you are now officially on the wagon. The bedroom is mostly filled with your dirty underwear, so there's not much point in going there unless you're curious about the origins of bubonic plague. Okay. Closet. You keep your wardrobe, a few old shirts you never wear are silently decomposing on the hanger. So the closet contains several dozen mothballs, but they disappeared one night when you were severely intoxicated and had the munchies. I don't think mothballs are edible. Actually, I don't know what mothballs are made of, but I feel very strongly that they should not be eaten, just based on intuition. Drawer. given one can found crammed in the drawer. They are jammed in so tightly, in fact, that they have achieved a new state of matter and have their own gravitation field. Don't even try to close this thing. All right. The chair. Yeah, it's kind of like IT people who eat at their desk instead of in the lunchroom like they're supposed to. Same idea. All right. Oh, the weight machine. Theoretically, the weight machine is here to keep you, the interstellar voyager, in top physical shape as you ply the uncharted deeps. Deeps? Shouldn't that be depths? Outer space. In practice, it makes a nice piece of postmodern sculpture, and you can drag it around to serve as a coffee table or footstool when the need arises. That is true. All right. So we can go down from here. We can go up the ladder. Anything else here to look at? I guess not. Oh, wait. Medicine cabinet. Being the man that you are, you can't help but briefly pause and admire yourself in the medicine cabinet mirror. You're related to see that the hideous cold story you earned last month has finally cleared up. Let's open that medicine cabinet. There's probably something worthwhile inside. A couple of old toothbrushes, a used-up stick of deodorant from last year you were saving for an emergency, and that festering pile of dried-up toothpaste left from the crust tube exploded a couple of years ago. I think that the running theme here is that Mr. Nebular is not a particularly neat and tidy gentleman. Oh, I see. We can't go into the bedroom since our snow shovel broke, so we use the window to get in and out of bed. You've given up on the idea of actually walking in the room. Okay, well, that's a practical conclusion to come to. Let's see. Let's just walk down here for a second and see what's... Uh-oh. Ooh, this does not look or sound good. Hold on. Let's head up here for a second, and let me just save my game quickly before I go on. Let's see. So if you press F1, you get to this menu. So the save and restore. There are gameplay options. Let's see. Music and sound are on. That's fine. Interface is standard as opposed to what? Easy? Hold on. What does easy look like? Oh, I see. Oh, easy automatically picks the most obvious thing to do, I guess. Because when I was on standard mode, it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't show anything. You have to hold down the mouse button to see what all these things are. Huh. That easy mode might actually be useful, because then I don't have to hold down the mouse button every time okay, let's try easy mode, because then I don't have to hold down the mouse button every time I want something. Oh yeah, inventory is spinning, so that's obviously... That's this thing here, the way things turn around like that. I actually find that annoying. I feel like I should probably turn it off. Binoculars, look at and disassemble. I like how those are the two options. You can look at it or break it. No, don't you... No. Okay, can I disassemble? Don't disassemble the binoculars. You might need them. Okay. Let's see. If I turn off that spinning, I feel like that spinning could get annoying. Inventory is still. Well, now I don't see the things at all. I was hoping for just a still picture of them, but I don't get a still picture. I just don't see them at all. Okay, that's okay, I'll leave it spinning. The spinning itself is a little annoying to me, but it's better than not seeing anything, I guess. Text window is animated or still. I haven't noticed the text windows being animated, but sure, I'll take it. Animation, why not? Screen fade is smooth, medium, fast. Sure, smooth is fine. Oh yeah, and you can switch between naughty and nice mode. So naughty mode obviously is the one with a little bit of nudity and some blood in it. I mean, come on, we're adults here. I mean, how many actual children watch my channel? I don't think very many, to be honest. I think most of us are adults. We can take just a little bit of naughtiness. Like I said, I mean, this game it's not a porn game. It's not a horror game. There's a little bit of puerile content, but it's nothing. It's nothing really explicit. Okay, so I guess these settings are, yeah, let's leave it at that. And I'll go ahead and save the game, and I'll say made it to the second screen, which is pretty good progress for me. Those of you who have been watching my Let's Plays for years know that getting past the opening screen in the first video of a Let's Play is actually really good progress for me. You can see why. Okay, I'll go ahead and leave it at that for now because I just hit 40 minutes. So this was the first video of Rex Nebular and the Cosmic Gender Bender. I hope this turns out to be a good Let's Play. Like I said, I really like this game. It is a good game. I hope that you folks will enjoy it as well. So let's go ahead and take a break now, and I'll talk to you folks next time. Thanks for watching, everyone, and ta-ta!